Developed by Taito in 1989, Kadash began its life in arcades. What made the game unique was its mixture of role-playing and multiplayer action platforming, a combination rarely seen in arcade machines. The TurboGrafx received a version of it in 1991, translated to English by Working Designs. I love the box and manual artwork. It's no secret the TurboGrafx was known for its lousy cover art, like that, or that, or that, although skulls are still cool. But the look of Kadash really makes me want to play the game. So, does the TurboChip itself hold up to the awesome artwork printed on it? Let's find out. The TurboGrafx version retains that multiplayer aspect as you begin by selecting 1 or 2 players. Then you have the choice between 4 valiant warriors, each with his or her own strengths and weaknesses. The priestess has a very long-range attack and can pick off enemies from above. Not to mention, she can use magic. The mage has extremely weak and short-range attacks, but is very powerful in the magic technique department. Both the fighter and the ninja have more powerful fighting abilities than the first 2, but they cannot use magic at all. Notice their magic points are completely blacked out. Once you choose a warrior, the game also allows you to name him or her with 4 initials. Look who was playing the game in the manual. That must have been one excellent adventure. Your character is on a mission to save a princess, destroy enemies, and restore peace to the land. To accomplish this, you need to survey towns and talk to people. In fact, carrying on conversations with everyone is required. While some offer minor gameplay advice, others give you vital items such as keys to move on to the next part of the stage. Finding keys is a major goal. Not finding them means a lot of backtracking. I love how you hit the same button to talk to people as you do to attack. Oops. Sorry about that. I gotta go. Aside from collecting items such as money bags, elixirs, or pendants, you can also buy stuff. The inn replenishes your energy for a fee. In other shops, you can also purchase life bells, which are expensive but increase maximum hit points, or various sword, shield, and weapon upgrades. Each character can only use and purchase his or her own weapons, which is a great touch. I also love how the character changes clothes and appearance on screen as a result of this purchase. Other shops sell goodies such as herbs to replenish hit points and antidotes to cure poison. Both of these you can max out, and trust me, you are going to want to, and the game uses them automatically when needed. Another part of Kadash is dungeon exploration as you fight enemies and bosses and collect items. Some enemies include spiders, frogs, giant worms, and Black Pudding, who later returns as the Jelly Giant. Why do I feel like dessert all of a sudden? Your character can level up, and since enemies respawn, you can do the stand in one area and grind up experience points gimmick before moving on. Time consuming? You bet. But it makes most of the game easier to deal with, and I recommend doing this in the very first level. Not to mention, you can grab a ton of money bags, making future purchases a breeze. The look of this game is very colorful, and it has a sharp, pleasing, and polished design. The lightning and random special effects appearing here and there add some nice variety. It is missing the multi-scrolling and some very fine detail, but is faithful to the arcade counterpart in its own original style kind of way. The music and sounds are adequate. The music is pretty varied, does a good job recreating the arcade version, and it has a soothing feel at times. The sound effects, however, are a little bit bland and a bit annoying. Yeah, I'm talking to you, Moneybags. The controls are pretty smooth. Jumping is very short, but it's responsive and quick, and not many poorly timed jumps will lead to an instant death, although falling into the water early on will practically seal your doom. The attacks are quick, depending on the character. Sometimes range is a problem, but it's more a handicap of the character itself. Casting magic spells is a bit tricky. You need to hold down button 2 to juggle through the items and then release it to cast the magic. Good luck finding one quickly if you absolutely need to. But it's only a problem with 2 of the 4 characters, and overall the controls work quite well. There are 0 continues, aside from the ability to resurrect a dead warrior at the inn in 2-player mode. Therefore, leveling up early, learning the stages, and being really careful is required to master this one. Once you figure the game out, however, you will find it actually rather short and easy to plow through. Because of this, the fun is actually making up your own challenges. For example, can I beat this one with each of the 4 characters? Well, I found the ninja the easiest to use due to the constant tossing of his weapons. Next to that, the warrior due to his strength, and the priestess due to her weapon length. The mage, forget about it. Good luck hitting anything in the air with this guy. Yeah, eventually, he along with the warrior will shoot projectiles, but they are very weak and do really no good. Kadash also has a few other minor quirks. Some of the on-screen information is not really that accessible. The only time you see how much money you have accumulated is when you enter a shop. Therefore, you often don't realize how short of cash you might actually be. Damn, now that is customer service. You also have no way to find out how close you are to leveling up, as there are no stats to be found anywhere. These quirks aside, I have to say the TurboGrafx version of Kadash is quite good if you enjoy the game itself. Some aspects were changed from the arcade, but this one still retains that overall charm. The Sega Genesis version, which came later, was closer in arcade graphics style, but only allotted for 2 of the 4 playable characters. And one of them was the mage. Oy. Many say that they prefer the new designs and colorful look of the TurboGrafx version, and with the ability to choose all 4 characters, this one is often regarded as the superior choice. Well, I quite like Kadash, and I think there is enough variety to make the game as good as its initial artwork would suggest. In the TurboGrafx world of gaming, where things are shooter galore, it is always nice to find a unique game to add to the mix. There are a few quirks, and some might not like its no continues challenge, but it has a lot of fun packed into it and a great cooperative 2-player mode. So I have to give thumbs up to Kadash and say definitely go out and pick up a copy of this game if you can. Now the big question, where can I get some black pudding?